Hello, 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 Insaka family. Happy Sunday. Happy week of the month, right? October.
Yep.
It is great. It is amazing. We are in your homes again today. Nelly is not here today. She's on vacation. We do have a guest host, Kumba, all the way from Maryland. Ladies, how are you? I'll start with Winnie.
I am good. There are good days and there are bad days, but I'm grateful.
Today's a good day. Irene in pink, Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes, my love. Thank you so much. I'm chiming in from Chicago, Illinois. And October is a breast cancer month, as you all know. We would probably do a segment before the end of the month. But for now, let's acknowledge all the survivors and those that are going through cancer right now. Let's keep them in our prayers. And thank you so much, God, for making me still be here.
Right. And our guest host filling in for Nelly today. She's also in pink. What a coincidence. It just shows that we're in sync. Kumba, all the way from Germantown, Maryland. How are you?
I'm successful. Thank you very much for having me on this show. I am blessed to be here. I'm just excited.
Good. Kumba will be doing a segment on the Insaka show. As you guys know, we have the Insaka men. We have introduced the Insaka teens. We haven't met them yet. Now we have the young adult generation, the younger generation from us. So what is happening in your communities? Irene, we'll start with you.
Well, you guys, we were graced with the announcement that OZA was having the independence celebration here in Chicago. We want to show them this is the money town, this is where it happens, and where every glimpsy and glam is, starting with me. But anyway, everything is going well with the OZA event. I'm so grateful for all the people that have donated towards it. Some actually are not coming to the independence, but they're donating a ticket or two.
Well, can I get a ticket? Because
why me?
No.
They're donating a ticket for someone else to come in.
So I should be one.
But that's amazing because this shows the Ubuntu that we have as Zambians.
Right.
If I'm not able to come for whatever reasons it is, I should be able to take my ticket and pay it forward for somebody who's not able to pay for it.
Can I
be one of those?
Can I be the recipient of anyway?
Be the beneficiary of OZA. Why not?
I know. I went ahead of myself. I started with the community news. What I should have started with the icebreaker question. I'm tired. I'm a human being.
That's okay.
You're okay.
The icebreaker question. What is the most uncomfortable thing you had to tell someone? Winnie.
What's the most uncomfortable things I've ever told somebody? Damn. Can it skip?
Irene, sorry, it's about you today.
Well, thank you. It's my month.
Yes, we're giving it to you gracefully.
Yeah. Well, I had to tell somebody that I'm not feeling them.
Ooh. Wow.
What's the point of pretending and letting you lead somebody on, and then they feel like, things are happening? I just had to say, I'm so sorry. I'm not feeling it that way. We can still be friends if you feel like, but if not, I gotta go.
And men don't get it. They don't get the signals, like when you call, when they don't get it. Kumba, what's the most uncomfortable thing you had to tell someone?
Well, I don't have one specific thing. I think the most uncomfortable thing for me to say anytime is no to anybody, because the older I get, I realize that I should say no more. That's my power, so I stand in that. But in my career and with interviewing people and hiring people, I've had to say no a lot, and it's very hard because if you know me, Auntie Priska, you know me, I'm like the sweetest person. So I've developed this skill of saying no, but then the person won't even really know I'm saying no. So it's become a strength to say no without really saying no.
I can do mine. When you're done, I can do. But mine that's why it was a little bit sensitive. Mine, that's why I didn't say it. And I like what you just said about no. But for me, it's very personal and it's family. As you know, divorced and I live with my kids. I am dating, and then, when you leave your other family, you have a new family. So when I was moving in, my mother-in-law, which I call mother-in-law, I love her. She's been in my life for a long time, and forever she'll be. I cherish her. Like, listen, this woman has been through with me a lot. That there was a time I had to stand up on myself, and this is not like a shaming. I want somebody to learn, because I'm always saying yes. I'm always a yes person, and I know she knows, and it hurts me because we are not even talking. So this particular time, I had to say that, Mommy, every time you're coming to my house, I'm not with your son. We are divorced, but we are a family because I have kids for you, and you are welcome in my house. But when you're coming to my house, please let me know, so that my boyfriend, who's going to be my future husband, is not here. Or even if he's here, at least I want to be able to spend time with you and respect him as well. That did not sit well. And it took me a long time. And thank you for you girls, because you girls, you really you better do the right thing. What would you do if he did that to you? Yeah, and I struggled, and I came to tell you girls, we were like, you better do the right thing. And it bothered me. I prayed over it, and I said it, and I knew the time I was going to say it was either she's not going to talk to me for a long time, but I'm going to protect myself with what I have now.
Right.
And she hasn't spoken to me, and I feel bad because she hasn't even spoke much.
No, it's okay. She can go. We're fine.
Right.
Yeah. She'll come back. Don't worry.
All right. The kids are there.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so that was really that was very uncomfortable thing ever in my life.
It's very empowering to say no. I live for no. I love to say no. I don't even care what you think or what you feel. Winnie, like you said, you're protecting yourself, because don't put me in an uncomfortable position to make you feel better. So I live for saying no. I love to say no. When I went to Zambia, everybody was, can I have this bag? Absolutely not. Cannot, no. I'm not very rebellious. I can't even say the word. It's very empowering. I feel powerful about myself, and I'm standing in my truth to say, no, I'm not going to give it to you. The most uncomfortable thing I had to do is to break off a friendship. People break off relationships to just come to terms with a friend and say it's not working out. I think we should go our separate ways. And me, I love to mend friendships. I will call somebody, let's talk, let's discuss what's going on. Let's move forward. But for me to sit down and say, I think we need to break up.
Wow.
That's big. Yeah.
Yep. Well, today we are talking about Happy Sunday, Liz.
Happy Sunday, Liz.
Say hi, beautiful queens. Great to see you, looking beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Kumba, you can go.
Princess Mwangala here says, proud of you, Winnie. You did the right thing to stand up for yourself, choose you and your happiness while setting healthy boundaries. I agree.
I agree too.
How do you feel now?
Oh, now I feel, listen, I'm blessed. I'm not worried. I know that no matter what, we're still going to be family. But at the end of the day, I know it makes me comfortable knowing I'm in a different setup.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? Sometimes you have to let go.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like I was holding into her. Instead of her embracing the new daughter-in-law, she's still so close to me. And I was holding into, I'm like, and then me on the other side, they're embracing me so well on the other family. I'm like, I gotta cut this umbilical cord.
Yeah, I'm glad she's gone. Mama, thank you. We appreciate you. We thank you. We love the grandkids. Mama, your time is up.
Right, but you have to know where to draw the line, and you draw the line. And
I think for you, Winnie, it was so unfair for Ryan. Was being respectful of your space, the fact that you have children with this family, but at the same time, I'm sure it was hurting. Right. Kudos to you for doing that.
Thank you. And it's one thing that we said by Insaka, we are very real. And then at some point, we're going to be bringing real conversations. So this is a real thing. You learn something out of it. Not every day, but piece and bit. We're all going to share our personality. And then you get to know who we are. So thank you, guys. I love you guys. All of you, because you are being on my ears.
Today, we are talking about A Phiri Anabwela. Irene, when we come back from commercial, could you please explain to us what that term means, where it comes from, and what is the history? And let me give a disclaimer. We are not financial experts. We do
Right.
not work in any financial institutions. This is just our opinion that we have. And with that being said, let's go to commercial. Say thank you to our sponsors. When we come back, we'll delve into it.
My whole life, my father told me stories about moving to the United States. He would tell me that his brother, my Uncle George, was already living here and let my father stay with him for a while. Through my Uncle George, my father was introduced to our cultural organization here in America, who helped him make connections, apply for college, find his first job, and adjust to life in a completely different culture than he was used to. The Cultural Association helped him get started on his new life. My Uncle George would bring my father with him to the annual Summer Cultural Groups Festival, and later, he would bring me. It was incredible to see so many people of all ages laughing and celebrating with food and song and dance. It brought back the best feelings of home and gave my father the opportunity to pass his culture, language, and values on to me. My father and Uncle George were very close, so when George died last year, my father wanted to honor his wishes to be buried with a traditional ceremony back at his birthplace. My father told me that because Uncle George had cultural group life insurance, he was able to afford to bring George home and have the traditional burial George wanted. Though my father had been able to honor my Uncle George's wishes, it got me thinking about my own family. One day, I'd have to make the same arrangements for my own parents, and my wife's parents as well. Of course, we would want to bring them home and honor their wishes, but it would be a financial hardship for our family. There were a lot of things to think about, even though I really didn't want to think about them at all. When my father told me about cultural group life insurance, he told me it's intended to help families when they need it the most. It's not tied to an employer, so no matter where my career takes me, I'll always have coverage. The more people who participate and the younger they are, the more it helps keep the insurance premiums down for the entire association. Because my parents have cultural group term life insurance, there will be money available to help me provide the kind of service I want to give my parents. And by joining, I can put my mind at ease and continue to celebrate our traditions into the future. With cultural group life insurance, I can worry less and spend more of my time celebrating with the people who matter most to me.
Hello, welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is the Insaka Talk Show. My name is Priska. In the studio with me, Irene, and our guest host today, Kumba. Today we are talking about A Phiri Anabwela. I don't know how to speak Nyanja. I don't know if I pronounce this right or not right, but Irene is going to tell us a little bit of a history of A Phiri Anabwela. Anabwela. I am tongue-tied today. And why we are talking about it today, Irene, take off.
Well, so A Phiri Anabwela was a song that was done in the early 70s. It was done by Nashio Pichen Kazembe. He was one of the folk song writers, musicians, and in the heydays, those are the people that everybody was listening to. So the A Phiri Anabwela, really what it means is that, like a long time migrant comes back home to resettle after going away for a very long time. And then because of the struggles of being away from home, comes back with nothing but empty suitcases. So he was trying to narrate that story in form of a song to just, alert people that go abroad and sing there and find challenges like anybody gets. We get challenges as well. But I think the outlook of people looking at you coming from abroad, they think, he's been abroad for 30-something years, so he has money and all that stuff. And the challenges were too overwhelming and you just come back because you just want your peace. So that's what it means. A Phiri is somebody's name. Anabwela means came back from wherever he went. Yeah, that's what it means.
That's good.
Somehow it's really sad when you hear the song itself. You guys can I'll send it to you. You can listen to it. It's very sad that when the guy singing about it, he came all the way and in the suitcase there was nothing.
Yeah.
Because
No. Not about that.
I'm sorry.
It's not about that. It's that you did not plan well, and it's so
Right.
that's
No.
why you didn't.
I'm gonna disagree, but finish. I'll disagree with you. Finish.
Okay, that's the whole point about Insaka is to
Yes.
agree and disagree.
Right. Right.
We're about to shoot right now. Priska was about to say something. I was about to say something.
I know. I was like,
No.
no. I think,
Okay, so when you finish, our guest is gonna
Yeah.
be.
but so a pig went there to Harare, right? Whatever Malawi, whatever you went.
Malawi, yeah.
Went to make money and leaving. So when he come back home, he will have something. So while he was there, he was living a life, paycheck to paycheck or not, or just he didn't. I think in my own understanding, he was not ready. Like he did not prepare himself. If I go home, what am I going to have? Because life can happen in a minute. You think tomorrow you have a life? No. So every day we have to live knowing like, what I have today, and today is what I have. You can at least plan for your kids or for your great grandkids. That's what it's even in the Bible. You only don't plan for yourself. They say if you're gonna live longer, make sure you and your great grandkids have a life. It's written in the Bible. So A Phiri did not do that. So when he went to Zambia in his suitcase, and I imagine those box suitcase, there was nothing in there. We saw A Phiri on the Facebook and standing on Lamborghini,
Right.
and going in the airplane, and you didn't even have a plot. Like, do something for yourself and your great grandkids if you do. So now, kill me.
I haven't heard the song. I would have to hear it to have proper judgment of it. But I think if A Phiri is coming back with an empty suitcase or box or whatever it is we're calling it, I feel like he either didn't plan well or didn't have the resources to be able to go back home and be comfortable, or he was scammed. It could go anyway. It could go anyway.
My thoughts are, A Phiri was somewhere. You know how you leave home to go and look for a better life.
Right.
And Africans, it's almost tradition that when you're the one that's made it out there, you take care of your family back home. And the families that we leave back home just take and take and take. So imagine I'm sitting here, I'm eating rice, and my brother calls me and says, I don't have food. I'm going to have to send money to my brother and send money to my brother. Now I'm earning a living, or I'm making money. I'm feeding myself and feeding my brother. What do I have left to invest?
Nothing.
That could have been the situation.
But when you go home, they're gonna laugh at you. The same people.
Exactly. So we need to change the narrative of people that are back home that just want to take and take and take. Think about me too.
Yeah, I agree with you, Priska, in the sense that, like I explained what happened to A Phiri, it could have been a situation where he lost everything where he was, but he still had somewhere he called home.
Right.
Going back home. So he thought to himself, like, why am I suffering in this country? Let me go back home where people know me, they can feed me, they can kind of kumbaya with me. So he left, but unfortunately, the perspective that people have from home when you're coming, they're looking at the suitcases, they're like, yeah, I'm sure there's something for me in there.
Right.
You know, it's very
I
common.
experienced it.
Yeah, you did. You just came back from home, so you know what we're talking about. So it's just a perception of people back home of thinking that when you come back from abroad, you've come back with a sack of money and you have all these goodies. Sometimes your heart just wants to go back home. That's it.
Right.
So
Right.
being here in the diaspora, as long as we've lived, I'm in my 40s, Whitney's in her 40s, Irene 50s, Kumba 20s. If you had $1 million today, what would you do with it?
Ooh.
Do I start first?
You can start.
What I would do that $1 million, I will invest it for my kids. because I do know that I brought them on 8th. I wouldn't want them to suffer. And then, like you said, and then I'll take chunk of the money, take care of myself, so that when I go to nursing home, I'm not going to bother my children.
So nursing home, meaning you're going to retire here?
No, like if I would, I'm going home. I'm going to retire home. Why am I retiring here? I don't know.
Irene, what would you do with $1 million?
You know me. I'm like Kumba. I cannot say no. Humanitarian runs. Once you were talking, I was already thinking, I'm going to open an adoption center. I'm going to open a domestic violence home. That's just something that I think about all the time. I mean, we all invest in different avenues in life. But every time I have money, I'm thinking of investing in somebody else who doesn't have. And I think I know very well if I had $1 million, that's where it's going to go. God knows I'm telling the truth.
That's a good investment. And investments are different. We're going to get into it. Kumba, what would you do with $1 million?
I would probably split it into percentages because that's a lot of money. So I probably would do 10% to tithe because I am a tither. I probably then would do maybe 70% to investments, but I would diversify my investments. So different things because, I think the average person should have at least 7 streams of income.
Yeah.
And then the other 10, I probably would do charity because I'm a giver. So, and then am I done with my 10s? And then I think I have one more 10. I would probably do, being young in America, there's a lot of debt.
Yeah.
So I would probably clear myself out of that and then just set myself up to win, really.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
I would do the same. For me is, like we said, investments. I would tithe. I don't always do it, but God understands.
Try, Priska. When you start, you're not going to even start thinking about it.
I used to.
Right.
I haven't done it in a while. I will start. Now that I want $1 million, I will tithe. I will make sure, and we did talk about different investments. I'll make sure that I'll invest in 1 or 2 people that I will change their lives, that they would never have to struggle, never have to work a day in their lives. I will do the same, like Kumba said, I will invest in different things. But I will just take a vacation for a week to think about it. I just want to be on the water. I just want to have champagne. And
of course, that's you.
I just want to relax for 7 days and not even have to think about budgeting and how am I going to pay this and pay that and clear my debt. Let's hear what the Insaka family has to say. Let's hear from our family. Questions? Kumba, you want to take that?
Moral. So this is from Kupiwe. Moral of the story, I think, or the song. It's a song, right? Moral of the song is invest wherever you are, wherever you're planning to settle. I agree.
I agree.
That is true.
I agree too. Mkuzo Mwanda said,
I think Kumba will take that's in Kumba.
That's my husband.
Yeah, husband.
Thank you, Kumba. You look hot.
Supporting.
We love when a husband says something like that. You look hot. That's
Thank
good.
you, husband. Thank you, husband. I appreciate it.
We love husband.
And then Princess Mangala says, invest in assets that appreciate value over time. That's a great one.
And also, just to give a disclaimer again, we are not financial experts. Whatever we're saying, this is our opinion and things that we'll do with our families.
Absolutely.
It brings me to when she's talking about investments. Do you believe in buying a finished house or you building from the scratch? Irene, you want to take that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I would take that. I think if I had to invest back home, we're not talking about here.
And back home means Zambia.
Back home means Zambia. If I had to invest back home in Zambia, I would definitely invest in a house that's already finished. And I just have to do some cosmetics myself. Mm-hmm. The reasons being that over time, I've never had anyone that I can trust, even with 1 kwacha. Seriously. When I say, I'm looking for, I'll be hypothetic. I say, somebody is coming from Zambia, so can you buy me some kapenta and ifinkubala? How much is it? They will tell me 500 kwacha. So to me, I know that that's 200 kwacha.
Yeah.
The 300 kwacha is theirs. And when I do give them, I tell them, I know it's 200. You wanted 300 kwacha. So here is the 500. Next time, say the truth. Because they never say the exact amount that, I mean, tell me it's 500 kwacha. And then let me put something on top from my own will. But don't dupe me when you know I'm going to give you some more. So, me, I'm buying a house that's already made, and I'll just do the myself, and we're done.
You know what is so sad? It's almost at least 85% we've experienced this. It's like we have a problem of telling the truth. Everything Kalilo, a lot of people have even scammed us here. They're supposed to be making us dresses. We've never gotten dresses.
No.
They're supposed to be making beats. We've never gotten. It's like they see something and they want to eat it today and today only, forgetting there's more where that's coming from. And we need to change.
Yeah.
Winnie, would you do it?
I think for me, I've done it before, and I'll say, and you guys and everyone else, when I came here, I think we were in the 1920s, and I was that age. I was young.
Yeah, 40s.
What I did, the first thing I did, and it's a little bit story again, but I'll make it short. My mom and dad was divorced. My mom was given a house in teacher's compound, and when you're living okay, you had everything that was okay, and then things change. So leaving Zambia, I left my mom in Matero, one of the Matero boys teachers compound. So when I came here, my mom told me they are selling plots behind Matero, the stadium. I said, how much are the plots? $100. I was making $225, and that week I told my mom, I'm gonna buy the plot. I'm gonna buy the land. I bought the big land, guys.
Good girl.
Using $100.
Wow.
And I told myself, yes, I can say that again. I'm gonna build my mom's house in 2 years.
Wow.
I didn't do it in 2 years. I did it in 3 years.
Winnie, that's good.
I invested in so young in being in the US because I just didn't know, but I knew that one day I didn't want the burden of paying rent, because I told my mom, I'll take care of everything. That's one thing about me. I jump around, I do but when it comes to family, I am a person who just I will hold them until I know I can't do it no more. Yeah. I did at 23. My mom was done. I remember I had my friend, thank God for Mate. But I remember I had other friend who was like, why are you doing that? I'm like, no, I'm going to do this for my mom. And we did that. My mom was a teacher. She helped out, but I did most of it. And then going home, I never had to worry where my mom is. I don't send money every day because my mom has in the compound, she has little houses around that she gets money for that I don't pay. Vice versa, a couple years later, I got a farm where I have stuff. So we don't buy wonga, we don't buy cornmeal. They get that from the farm. So guess what? Some investment might not look big, but to me, I think that was the biggest investment.
Right.
I don't have to worry about my mom.
Yeah.
Even if they don't have electricity, she'll figure it out. But guess what? They have a home.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? After my sibling passed away, my mom is taking care of 11 grandkids in a house. Imagine if we were renting a house, what would have happened? So I thank God for discernment, the spirit of discernment for me to do that at a young age. I don't think I would have done it. And then that's when I realized, okay, now I'm older. My kids are here. I might, because it's the other way around. I'm African. I would love to go home, but my kids are here. So I need to invest something. Then I started doing something for myself from the scratch so I can have at least American dream of my life, have a home when I go on vacation. Who knows, I'll end up staying there, but I want to have a home that I can say, you know what, I lived in the US and this is what my product is. You've
done well. Congratulations. In my 20s, I was thinking about makeup, but Kumba, you can relate to purchasing land at a young age while you
It's a good idea, Kumba. Trust me, you do it now. You don't have to worry.
She's done it.
I definitely can relate. That was one of my first. I'm probably jumping the gun with questions, but that was one of my first investments, is buying land, because that's what everybody talks about, buying a plot of land. That was my first. Then I went into farming. So I'm in there.
Good job. You know,
I think we have so many questions from our families.
More so comments.
So Princess says, do not build with individuals. Go with a reputable construction company. Builders Village is one of them. Oh, okay, that's the company, I guess. They build per stage. Oh, that's good.
Nice.
That's
Builders
good.
Village.
Yeah, so Mangala, if you can share that information, we can put it on our page. So people that have intentions of doing that, they can visit our page and do that.
And then can I take this one? We have Cotilda. She says, hello, my beautiful sisters. Hello.
Cotilda, we love you. Can't wait to see you in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Chicago.
She says, Winnie, good job.
Nice to catch up live today. That's Naomi. Yeah, she's chiming in from Chicago. Mangala, kudos, Winnie. That's very nice. See, when you hear all those, people saying positive things to you, you're motivating a young person who's in their 20s, because you and Kumba kind of relate the story in this, even if you're older than Kumba now.
Yeah, that's 20 years ago. That's 20 years ago.
She's in her 20s. She's already invested in a property and in a farm. So it's a similar story. You guys share good stories, and people out there are listening, and they can pick up one or two things. I'm so
right. And can I just add second what you just said? I would say to young people, start now, do it now. You have a lot more time to make the mistakes, to do all of that and to right your wrongs. So start now. And I think the biggest risk, because a lot of people have fear of taking that risk, but the biggest risk is to not take the risk. So, you're better off just taking the risk and investing.
Yeah.
Krista, I'd like to hear from you. What would you do? That's why I want to hear from you.
I will purchase land and go through a company. When we purchased ours, we went through Mainwood. And I tried the other way of where you try somebody else, and that did not work out very well, which I will never do. Like Princess said, I will go through a company. And even as we are building, we will build through a company, just like in America. So we did it the other way around, because we purchased land, it just sat there, and it accumulated value, by the way, because now Mzingamelo is our neighbor. So yes.
That's awesome.
That's nice.
Yes. So we built here in the United States of America. We use a company, the same thing. So I think we would do the same. We did it the other way around. Winnie, you said you have kids here. So we have our children here that are growing up. I didn't leave much family back home that I could. My mom passed away, my dad passed away. So I couldn't purchase land and build there. Right. So we did it from here, but I will never go through an individual for anything. I don't care who you are.
Right.
I would never do it. Yeah. I would use a company.
For me, when I invested in Zambia, just to throw one or two things, I was lucky to have stumbled on some money. Mm-hmm. I just walking and the money.
How did you stumble on money?
And I picked up that money, and then when I did, I decided but my thought process was the same thing. Yeah, I know. I decided to invest in property that was already done, and it already had tenants. So it was easy for me to go in there and just do some makeup stuff that I needed to do. So I don't have to do the big hard work. So you can do it that way, or you can build your own home through a construction company. Whichever way you can do it, investment is investment.
That's a good one, because you're already making your money as you invest, as opposed to us that will buy land and build because we're losing. Yeah. So that's a good one to do, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, speaking of investments, what is your understanding of investment? Winnie already mentioned it to us. I'll go first. Investment does not just mean financial investments. You can invest in memories, you can invest in family, you can invest in education, you can invest in someone. What are your thoughts?
Well, let me go first before my brain is very old, so sometimes I forget what I'm about to say. Anyway, so for me, I invested in my family. As you all know, my whole family is here. So we are 6 of us here. So my thing is, when I came here, I came alone. So after some time, I realized, I said, you know what? I need my family here. So I started pumping in ideas of them coming here, because I knew that when they come here, I don't have to worry about them anymore. The ones that I have to worry about are nieces and nephews that are a little cheaper for me than my own siblings. So I invested in that, and they all came. So all of them are here, and all of them have their own jobs. They have their own, they're doing well. So I don't have to worry about them. So that's my investment.
That's a good one.
That's very smart.
Kumba?
Well, your question was what is your understanding of investment? Investment, I think, is just applying a form of capital. It could be in money, it could be a time, it could be effort.
Yeah.
To earn a return.
Yeah.
That's I think that's my understanding. So it could be in any shape or form, as long as you want to get a return from it. That's my thought process.
I think my understanding is
you've done it already. Why are we even asking you? You did. You did very well.
Beside that, you know what I did was just not for me. I even beside my kids that we help from my nonprofit, I have a bonus son, and this young man was my nephew's best friend. They grew up together, went same primary school. So when he was going to go to college, first in grade 10, I helped him up a little bit. So when he was going to go to college, he was staying with his aunt. And his aunt his aunt and his uncle, they took their kids to college, and they said to him, they don't have the money. So he used to cook for the sibling after they come to school. He's a young boy. And then my nephew, they have everything, because we are now taking care of my nephew, like golden. And then when he was going to college at Evelyn Owen, I said, what are we going to do about him? And then my nephew's like, Auntie, anything. He said, Mommy. He calls me Mommy. I said, you know what? You're my surrogate son. You're my golden son. And I'm taking him to school. And this year he's graduating.
Congratulations.
And that's beside everybody else. I have my bonus son. And I feel so blessed. Just last week, he was telling me, I am now going to go to my family. What do I do? I'm like, listen, my mom's house is there. It's a big house. You can stay with the boys until you get a job. Because I know he's not a burden. He has and he's a very smart boy. So you can invest. And I told him, I don't want nothing from you, but I want you to pick up maybe one of the kids from the nonprofit. You can help.
Yeah.
That is nice, Winnie. And that's one thing about you. As much as you are weird and mungulu, like one thing about you is you give, and what you give is you make a difference in people's lives. And a lot of people may not see that. They may just say, Winnie, but you have invested in not only your mom's like the house, your mom and stuff, but also the Williams and the nonprofit organization.
Yep.
That's a major investment. Yeah.
Okay. And my children too. On Aisha, I would say that my other investment that I've done, my daughter and my son. Being a single mother does not stop you to do what you're supposed to do. Every time I came from work at 6 p.m., we eat and then we sit down and read books. My daughter, she's in one of the best schools in New Jersey.
Yes.
And my son, guess what he asked? His birthday is tomorrow. This time he asked for books.
That's good.
I think I told you, I spent $150 when I buy books. Yeah. He just want books. I said, Jesus, because you know what? I pretend like I'm busy. I'm busy. I have so much to do, but he will sit down next to me and he's reading the books. Yeah. I said, hey, I'm having a library here.
That's an investment. That's an investment.
Yeah, so I know, because he wants to be an author. That's what he says. So I'm gonna encourage this boy, do whatever, just read books.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He drinks tea in the morning and the book. I'm like, oh, this child.
That is a good thing. And I wish he can encourage other kids, because the kids this generation is something else. They don't even want books.
iPad. But
they're on gadgets.
He can be on that, but he sits down and read his books. Guys, he can finish a book in 2 days. I'm like, this boy, now it's too much. So I've introduced to him. We're going to be going to the library now, because I didn't know library, but now the library.
That's good.
So let's do more investment.
Yeah.
Even our own kids.
Yeah.
Speaking of investments, would you retire back in Zambia, or would you retire here in the United States of America? in a nursing home, where would you rather retire?
I can go first. I think I want to retire in my country for so many reasons. I think having been in this country since like in the late 90s, I came in 95. I think I've attained all the knowledge that I can take home and invest home, that I see that can be beneficial for my people.
Yeah.
It's not about you going to start a business. You can just invest in things that can upgrade the lives of people, like in the rural areas where there's no traffic. You can become an educator, not necessarily school, just an educator, an activist that goes to these rural areas and talk to them about things that they've never heard before, And back home, like I come from a family that we have our own land. Our father left us this big farm that we've never done anything. We never sold it. It's still there. So if I wanted to retire, I'll just go and build a small little hut in the corner of the farm and I'm good. But it's something that you should do when you are here, learn skills, learn some knowledge of change that you can go and apply in your country. That's just, yeah.
Winnie, you already said you would retire home.
No, I think plans have changed sometimes. I'm both. This is why Irene was saying that we'll see about Buffy, and that means like we'll see who's gonna tell the truth and lie. I don't even know what to tell you. I have kids here. I have my husband to be who's an American, so I can't just say we're gonna be going to Zambia.
Yeah.
And then I like the things again, when you date when you are older, guys, it's amazing. You talk about everything. You talk about everything. We talk about it. Where would you retire? It says, yes, we have a house in Zambia, but we're not going to Zambia, but we can be visiting Zambia.
Yeah. I would do the same. I will be 6 months here in summer, and when it's cold, I will be in Zambia. That's what I would do. Yeah. And I would just be all by myself. Do not bother me. Do not stress me. And then 6 months I come here. So I would do both.
Yeah, because before I think if you guys knew Priska, I always say I'm gonna go home. I think things are just changing like close. I even asked Aisha the other day, I'm like, I'm gonna go to Zambia when I'm 55. She says, with who?
Yeah. They're staying here, so it's hard.
It's true.
Kumba, where would you retire?
I would probably do the half and half. I would probably do the 6 months here, the 6 months there. Just because also I have a child that's American, and it's really hard to think about it truthfully and honestly. I probably would do the half and half. Also, I think I'm big on investing in taking my daughter to Zambia often, just so she doesn't shy away. If my decision does change and I do decide to retire in Zambia, I think the more I take her there, the more she feels more comfortable to visit me when I can't be here. So right now I'm leaning towards the half and half. And I guess it just depends. Life is it changes all the time. So you know.
You're right. Miss Clotilda has a very good comment there. It says the downside with buying homes here, we can't leave them for our children like we do in Zambia. When you grow older, the U.S. government will not pay for your nursing home until you sell your house. You have to be broke for Medicaid to kick in.
And that is true.
So you guys talking about half and half, you kind of like change my thought process. Yes, I know I want to retire back home, but of course that's my mind. My heart tells me I want to retire back home, but common sense, I cannot do that.
Right.
I'll be half here. I'm an American citizen here and Zambian citizen. So half and half makes a lot of sense. But I'm sure a lot of Zambians who are abroad would love to retire home, but because of the situations, they have to settle for half and half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of where we're retiring, are we ready? If I mean, if Achalo came today and said, "Yeah, you're gonna go." What provisions have we made to go back home?
But you see, that's where the A Phiri Anabwela comes in. What you just said. Because you see, when you're in a foreign country and you don't plan, sometimes you might plan, but circumstances will just lead you to that place where you say, you know what, enough is enough. I've had so much bad luck. I just want to go back home. And then you end up as an A Phiri Anabwela. But in a nutshell, everybody has some kind of plan in their lives to say, this is what I want to do. So A Phiri Anabwela, I don't know what his story is, but he was so unfortunate. He was duped. Something happened for him to go empty suitcase. I rest my case.
Right.
Kumba, what are your thoughts on A Phiri Anabwela?
Oh my God, I have so many thoughts on A Phiri Anabwela, but I just feel like I'll talk about myself. Being someone with legal background, I have learned to adopt the entrepreneur mindset, because if you do not, you will become A Phiri Anabwela, because America forces you to do that.
Yeah.
You have to have a plan B. And then it's not just investment in money and things like that. It's also investment in skills, in yourself. That's where because there are situations where you go home and you have nothing. There's people that are in those situations, like A Phiri. You have nothing. All you have is your skill, and that's where humility kicks in. Now, be humble enough to, to serve your people.
That's
serve
why
yourself. Right.
Which you don't do anything with it.
When I go to Zambia, I can be sewing uniforms.
You don't do anything. Let me tell you something about Winnie. Winnie is an amazing seamstress. I believe she made the dress that she's wearing. No, she doesn't use it. She does not use her gift.
No, I haven't just used it in a while. I can say that.
We need you to start doing it.
Yeah, but what you're saying, yes, you have to have a different mindset. And then as people, and especially even me, I'm a victim to family members. We can't just keep on giving when you don't even have it, because the families will make you feel guilty. Nika $50 check. No, the $50 is a lot of money. If you didn't pay your phone, they're gonna cut your phone, so you cannot give it to your sibling. So you have to have have to have a mindset of saying, you know what, I don't even have that $50 this week. I'm budgeted. My mom learned this on the early beginning of when I was living here, when I was doing the house. I told her I would do this. The day I'm going to start having kids, you won't ask me for nothing.
Yeah.
When my mom is asking you, even though she doesn't even ask, when she does, she wants to ask you, say, my mom tell me, what is it?
What is it you need?
Because she said, I don't know your situation, but I'm thinking in the next 2 weeks. You see, she gives me time. She never asks and demand, because she knows. I told her, I explained, do not lie to your family. That's the thing. That's why you feel frustrated. You're lying to them that they know the day you get money is every Friday. They're going to be calling you on Thursday night. Just tell them the truth.
It starts with hi.
I get paid the first couple of 2 weeks. I am paying my bills. I'm taking care of myself. Maybe in the next 3 weeks, I will look into see if I have anything. Oh, I just don't have it.
Off topic.
Yeah,
Off topic. People back home, stop calling and saying it's my birthday. What do you want me to do with your birthday? What do you want me to do with your birthday? I rarely celebrate my own birthday because I'm busy working. Here in America, they don't give you a break because it's your birthday, take a day off. No, we still work. So if I'm working, I'm trying to invest with you back home. And then you're asking me for birthday money. You are now reducing my investment by whatever, $20, $30, and they ask by the amount. Can you give me a $50? $50. Don't say things like that. Okay.
So can I just say something?
Yes.
Well, it's more of like a question. If we had to leave abruptly and they said, all of you go back home, whatever, something.
Yeah.
What are we doing? How prepared are we? What are we doing to make sure that we're not A Phiri Anabwela?
Exactly.
What are we doing? Because I can start. I just feel like it's never too early to start getting rid. Well, you never know. It's life, right? It's always throwing a curveball. So it's never too early. And I feel like if we wait for the moment that when, you know, something's gonna happen, or there's an emergency or whatever, an unforeseen event, then we become A Phiri Anabwela. Because I don't know if A Phiri even planned his return, you know. So and you look like you want to say something.
No, I'm thinking. Go ahead. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I was just gonna
you.
say, for the young people, we need to start, because you just never know. Just start. Not starting is the risk itself. I can't say that enough.
I agree with you. If anything happened and you had to go back home, you know, the worst people, and it's so sad that the relationships, especially these days, most of our relationships starts on social media.
Right.
Yeah.
Like your friends will accept you and take care of you and treat you better than your own family does, who you were helping out, which is true.
Right.
But then again, what is the most important thing? Back home, as long as you have a roof over your head, you have food, you're fine.
I can't stop laughing. I'm sorry, Priska.
Look at that.
Crazy.
I'm doing 6 months
Florida.
in Florida,
So Liz says, I'm doing 6 months in Florida and 6 months in Maryland. That's
that's retiring here because
That's not bougie, Lizzie.
That's a cup of tea. But Lizzie had another comment before that. That was very interesting. Can you put it up? She says, after working in America, paying our taxes, Social Security, and paying into things like 401k. For me,
yeah,
that's why she wants to retire between Florida and Maryland. Because she has invested here. So you remember how we said investment is how you understand it? You know, I cannot tell Priska, Winnie, or Kumbi to say this is how you should invest your life, or this is what investment is all about. We'll all have to understand it in our own way.
And so Dr. Grace says, I'm watching him. When this is good, you are glowing. What's the secret?
Oh, Grace, thank you. We know we are glowing. You know.
Dr. Grace, a disclaimer, I'm 56 years old.
Dr. Grace, disclaimer, I'm 25 years old.
I can't.
45. I'm 40 something.
40 plus, Priska. We are 40 plus.
Don't include me. I'm in my 40s. Dr. Grace, Kumba has experience with skincare. She introduced me to this total serum?
Double serum.
Double serum, honey, my skin. Do you see?
I want that one.
Linky.
Yes,
definitely.
So Dr. Makupa says the family members do not understand how to educate them, that we are also struggling and life is not like the movies. We choose to help them with the little that we have. Very, very true for almost everybody that's in the diaspora. We help when we can. We feed you not because we have extra, but sometimes we feed you out of guilt. Like Priska earlier was saying, I'm eating rice and my brother calls me and says, I don't have. That guilt in you says my brother doesn't have and I'm eating rice. So we'll send based on that, but it's not all the time. Don't make it a habit.
Mm-hmm.
I say so.
Yeah.
All right, Winnie.
I'm retiring here. That's what was what we talking about, right?
Hey,
No, like I said, I think I mentioned that before.
You said you will retire both 6 months.
I am both 6 months. I'm in and out.
But I think it's like Kumba said, it's never too late. It's never too early. It's never too late. I think if we know for sure, and I'm speaking to a person that came here in their 50s, they've done all they can. They just need a change. They come to America, to the United States of America, just to work so they can, make some money, go back home and settle. First of all, it's so hard, especially when you don't have a paper.
Yeah.
It's so hard for you. So what are you going to do? You're going to do all these odd jobs where you babysit or you take care of somebody. All you want is just to make money. Secure a home for yourself. Yeah. At least if you have a home, at least if you have a home and you have food, you have lights on, everything else do not matter.
True.
I think that.
And just allow people that come here to work hard to feed the families back home to do why they came here, and don't rip them. It's very hard out here. Even if you work in a corporate setting, work is not as easy as you think it is.
We speak a lot of English.
Yes. So now the thing is, yeah, of course, we have to speak
a lot of English, a lot of disrespect.
And then on top of that, we are thinking about you guys back home. If, for some reason I fail, I shouldn't be able to feel ashamed to face you back home to say I failed. You should be able to embrace me and say, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Instead, you say, A Phiri Anabwela. They went for a very long time. Look how they came. You didn't even ask me what my story is. Stop it.
I think I'll say that it's not too late. What Kumba said, it's not too late to start. I think I started, I would say early, but I started too late to save my money, like my money. So what I do when I get paid, I split money into 3. For home, for myself, and for my children. And I pay my tithe. The first thing, for a time, I take off my tithe. The moment I know this is going for my tithe. And then myself, my home, and they take care of the household. And then that has given me peace because I'm not lacking. And I'm not slacking because I know that I haven't paid that bill. I don't, because when there was some place where you're used to somebody taking care of you, but when you start taking care of yourself, there's nobody. And then I train my mind like a Jewish person, the Jewish people. If you realize what Jews do, the Jews, the first investment is for their children to know how to swim.
Really?
Yes, it's part of part of their investment. Their child needs to learn how to swim at the early age of, I think it's between 3 months and up. The child should.
Why swimming, if I may ask?
Why swimming?
Yeah,
swimming.
Why?
It's important for a child to know the skills. If anything happens,
necessary skill.
Maybe I think it's a sensory.
Most of this, because they think even if they are poor, they think they're gonna have a house with a pool.
Yeah, I think it's a sensory.
Mind thinks bigger than we think.
True.
So a child should know how to swim.
For that.
And you should. I'll send you the clip. And then they save money in the house. They have a petty cash. They have about 5,000 to 10,000 in the house, the emergency money, because sometimes this bank's gonna close. Yeah. And then they have money in their accounts, both husband and wife. They have separate money, and then they help each other as a community. I wish if we can tap as Africans, Zambians, we can tap into Jew world living, we can get better.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I've been trying to do that, and I can't say I'm struggling, but guys, it works for me. It aligns me, and then spiritually, because the moment you give something to God, you're not expecting. We get so much, and if you get 10%, sometimes it looks bigger. But when you give, knowing that God is in control, just give you the understanding, like then the rest I can do this. I can pay my electricity. I can pay this, and then when you pay, you realize that actually I'm saving $200. That's good if you're saving $200 every week.
Yeah, it's true. You know what you just said, Winnie? Sorry, Priska. Before, just to add up what she said, I gave somebody my last 20. They were buying something and their card declined. It was food, and I felt so bad. And I had my last 20, so I said, you know what? I'll pay for it. And then instead I just got a bottle of water. Before the end of the day, somebody sent me $100. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. And the reason why she sent me $100, she said, last time when when we went out, you paid for my meal. I didn't have, so I just wanted to pay you back, not for the meal, but I just thought I should give. That same day, that's when I saw the glory of God working. Because sometimes you give out of the goodness of your heart. Trust me, good deeds come your way. Sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't.
Blessed is the hand that gives. Kumba, your last closing remarks?
Can we read the comments before we go? We have to go.
Yes. And then I'm going to give, maybe let me read one comment, and then I'm going to give a closing remark.
I think maybe 2 or 3 because we've been missed out. We did this one?
Okay. The family members do not understand. Oh, this is Dr. Grace.
We read this. Yeah,
okay.
That one happened.
All right. This one says, does our community in Zambia have financial capacity Do we have financial literacy in our community? My experience, we have neither. Having $1,000 emergency fund, busheni banga. That's very true.
Very
Very important question.
yeah.
The thing is, how do you even, there are no resources in Zambia. How do you even raise $1,000 just to put away for emergency if you're struggling with what's to eat from day to day? Isn't that something we can think about and see how we can come in and help? In the United States, McDonald's is hiring, Nando's is hiring, Chick-fil-A is hiring. Who is hiring in Zambia? People are willing to work, but there are no jobs.
Right.
That would be a good thing for Insaka if there are any companies that are hiring and you want us to be your platform where you can say we are hiring and these are the qualifications. Whoever is listening can tell their friend who's not listening. That's how you can empower the community. Because sometimes you have this platform and you're not using it properly. Because this is a platform that is vast. We have people listening from Zambia. We have people listening from here. And if you advertise a job, even McDonald's, talk about just here in America, we say, oh, McDonald's in Colombia, they are actually hiring, from the age of 16 to 35. We can put it on this platform and kids can go there and apply. Use this platform for good use.
I want to say something off topic, and I'm going to speak in Bemba for reasons known to ourselves. About that Irene is a very good person. She's very resourceful when it comes to so anybody get in touch with Irene Chicago. I think you guys have a board where you guys post in Chitote. Yeah, so get in touch with Irene. I've reached out to Irene so many times. And she's there. And I think we should not just have one Irene in every state. We should have Irene, a Winnie, a Kumba in Maryland. You just know English too. Winnie, where can they go? I think we can do better. And that's what you said, Winnie.
That thing, Priska, you just said, it's very powerful. If we all connect ourselves to everyone else, then just I want to be okay and be by myself. Even when you hear somebody saying there's a job, you can't even tell your community it's not good. Guys, let's tell. There's somebody in the community. We all have, like, I reached the president. Priska, you're part of the association. I'm part of New Jersey, Connecticut, New York association as well. So we have these platforms. When you know your friend is suffering, even if you bring them to your home for 2 days until they pick up, let's do that. Let's empower ourselves. Jews people, they protect themselves. They stay in the one house until they buy another house. I don't know why we can't do that. You
know what? What you guys are saying is true. So I think what we should all do is not just be a resource for just jobs. Like, you can be a resource for, like, emotional impact. A lot of people are going through, mental health is big. So there are some young people that are going through a lot of challenges. They just want an adult to talk to. And maybe they see that adult in you because they feel like, oh, this woman is so sweet. When I tell her something, she actually...
Adult where?
Be that person. Yes, be that person. Because it's not all the time you have a person like me, like you're saying, who will help you with... because people tend to say, if I help her, she'll excel and leave me behind.
And that's the problem we have with adults that we found. Okay, now I'm going to go off topic. We don't have enough time.
We have 2 minutes.
Okay. This is the problem we have, the adult. There are some adults that are found. They're so, like, I call them my mentor. Like, I love them. I cherish them. I would call and I'll ask and they'll give me direction. But there are some adults here in diaspora. When you ask them something, they will not even help you because they don't want you to excel.
Yeah.
They don't like you because you're just you. And that's very unfair. How can I grow?
Yeah.
I came to you with a problem. Help me out. Don't go tell another person. And then it comes to me. So we don't even know. I'm not a young person. As a young woman, we don't even know if I can come to you because the same you adults, you disrespect me for no reason. So you adults, if I feel like as generation, as people in 40s, we should look people like young people like Cooper, like let's bring her up, let's uplift her up. We need to do, because few of them you could trust them with your soul. I've experienced it myself and I have seen it, and it's so sad.
Good job. Before we go, can we just maybe read the comments real quick? All of them. We don't have to answer them. I just want people to do.
Okay, so Miss Naomi says Zambia tithing has become a problem. You send some people some money to invest in a small business or pay for school fees, and you find that they use some of the money to pay tithe at church.
That's different.
Yes. Yeah, but thank you for the comment. Dr. Grace says just because online is not qualified, just because someone, I think is what you meant to say, is not qualified for the job, does not mean that you cannot share the job with them.
Yeah,
they might know someone qualified. Let's stop screening job. Let's stop screening job advertisement.
Hold on. I love that.
Stop screening.
Yeah, pass it on. Pass it on to somebody who's qualified.
Somebody, yes.
Yeah,
can do
there's nothing wrong with passing it on. That's good. I love that.
All right.
And also, I feel like if we have the means, for those that are able to, let's create jobs for each other.
Yes.
Especially back home, we need those resources, those channels. For the people that don't have the family to run to or don't have the means to, let's create the jobs, let's create the channels. I know some corporations, organizations are already doing that. They're creating channels targeting Zambians in the diaspora to be able to invest safely back home. Let's keep doing that. Let's just keep doing that. Don't stop.
I like what you said. Just to add on, we said we over our time, but let me add on what Kumba said.
You told me 2 minutes.
Let's create jobs back home. Let's invest in people back home. I will go back to what Irene said. They are not very honest people. And we need to change that narrative, because we don't always want to think people in Zambia, once you give them a task or tell them do this, they do not fulfill the task. They do not fulfill the task. They do not do what they say they will do. Instead, they'll take the money and run. So we need them to change. We want to. That's one of our thing here on the Insaka. We want to empower young people, very talented kids, very talented people. When they draw, when they make a commercial, when they do this, they are amazing at what they do, but they need to change. When somebody gives you something to do it with pride and finish it and say, I'm done. Let me be wow. Thank you so much. And here's a tip.
I think it's an integrity thing. It's integrity that we need to also promote.
I'll say something. Right. The young man who makes us the flyers is a young man is in Zambia.
Oh, wow.
Empowering him up. Even the young lady who makes us, we have 2 people who makes us flyers. All those nice posts that you guys see. We are trying to empower our own people. We can get those things anywhere on the internet, but we've decided we have to give back. Sometimes giving back has come differently. So at Insaka, we decided we're going to do it from back home. So if you need somebody to make you a flyer, please let us know. But we'll charge you more for that.
Okay. Yeah, so before we end, I'm going to say, sorry, Kumba. I was going to say, I wrote a book. I'm looking for people that can draw in my book. It's a children's book. So if you know you're a good artist, you're back home. I want kids who are in primary, secondary school, not college. I want them in like grade 12, grade 11, grade 10. If you're good at drawing, just send a message. We'll check your information and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, so I'm just going to start with my closing remarks. I just want to say to everyone out there, especially the younger people, do not put your eggs in one basket. Do not. It is not safe. Diversify. And I have a Bible verse here that talks about that. It relates to it. And it's Ecclesiastes 11:2. And it says, invest in 7 ventures. Yes, in 8. You do not know the disaster that may come upon the land. So have one basket, not safe.
Yes.
That's all I would leave you with.
This is our young adult Insaka, guys. Do you understand how powerful this is that she ends with a Bible verse?
Yes. Love that. I love that.
So, of course, we pray and we close it up. Like Jesus every day.
Right.
With that being said, from the Insaka family, Nelly, we wish you a happy vacation in Zambia. We're with you. We're jealous from us. Till next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Just give me
Welcome.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
You're welcome,
Hi.
guys. I went somewhere else, so forgive me. You can still talk.
We would like to go. Could you exit us, ma'am?
No, 1 second. You have to go through
Some
the
of us have
commercial.
been stuck in our tummy for like 1 hour. I want to let it loose. Come on.
No, you can. You can. Just give me a second because I went far, far, far away. All right. From the Insaka and everyone else, please subscribe and like. And we love you.
Till next time, goodbye.